Hey guys, good morning. Here's the view of my house. I lost an apple tree in my backyard. It's against the fence. And up on top of the hill, that's a hickory tree. Both are good for cooking, so it's not that bad of a deal. It's sad for the trees, but it's the way it is. That right there is a look at the neighborhood, and I'm gonna wait for a few minutes to see if there's gonna be a sunrise, and then we're gonna go on Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 9. You can see we had quite a snowstorm. That's how much it snowed because there was no snow. So it's about a foot. It's about 11 inches. It's going to warm up today, so once it starts to warm up, all the snow is going to be falling off the trees. It's going to be really tough to walk through the woods. But we're going to wait to see if the sun comes up. Well, the sun will come up. We'll wait to see if there's a visual sunrise, and then that'll be that. We'll go on our adventure. Stay tuned. Hey guys. Here we are, we're in our winter wonderland. There's some dead standing right there. So we had a nor'easter winter cyclone, and this is the result. Chaco's enjoying it. Hey Chaco, how's it going, buddy? Chaco's 9 years old, so I just don't know. When he's been going to the bathroom a little bit, his legs give out a little bit. I just don't know that he just can't travel very far, you know, like real far, like miles type of thing. Check out these trees. 2 trees that are exactly alike. They are like 2 trees that have, looks like a rocket ship on the bottom. There's one over there. It looks like 2 separate trees that have like grown together. Now this is the type of tree that I was talking about, but they're oak trees before, where you could like put a piece of wood in this area and then down like that. Did I drop my glove? Oh man. I've waterproofed these gloves, so one of them got a lot darker than the other one. It was weird, but they both dried the same. So here's 2 trees that must have come from the same, they must be brothers. All these trees, they've all grown kind of like together, but these have the wider bottom. Maybe that's how maple trees are. Maybe they all grow together and get old when they're 100 years old. See, here's another one. Kind of looks like a rocket ship on the bottom. And then 2 separate trees. Oh, look at that top. It just looks like heavy. These trees have all the vines on them. Vines will kill trees. So that's something to consider. If you own wood, they say, a woodland, they say to cut the vines out. I don't know. We're gonna continue on our adventure. I don't have a lot of camera time this morning because there's only so much room on my card, and I've been having problems with my card, so maybe later on today I'll be able to. I can't take the information off the card and put it on my computer right now. Some technical difficulties. But good news to let you guys know, I've ordered a new DSL. Excuse me. My goodness. Check this out. It's beautiful. It's nature's beauty. The tree's been sliding against the snow and causing some artwork for us. Can you see that? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, well, I ordered a DSLR camera. So it's got a microphone on, I always say phone. It's got a microphone on it. I don't think it should be phone either, but whatever. It's got a microphone on it, and it's gonna be good. Sound quality will go up, picture quality should go up, and technical difficulties should increase. But that's the nice thing about having a GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 5. It's a good thing. Oh, this would be awesome. Like if you were to spend the night in this area right here, check this out. These are some of those trees I saw the other night with you guys on Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 6. Check it out. Like it's like a little cocoon of life. You're in these trees. Little area. The deer have already been in here. Deer are browsers, so what they do is they'll take all the lowest branches and eat them. So when there's a snowstorm, the salad buffet is open. The tops of the trees come down and they can just eat away. Some winters, when it's just a regular winter where the snow's gradually increasing, you'll see that they can reach higher and higher into the trees, and they'll get up on their back feet to eat the browse on the bushes. And you'll come out and there'll be a meadow, and you'll see all the trees. It's like a Japanese gardener has pruned them to Zen perfection. Nice. So, I wonder if this is like how Native Americans got the idea for a wigwam. Well, they lived out in this harsh climate, and they figured out a way to survive. Let's go and Chaco. You're such a good boy. I rarely get sick, but when you're out in these woods, when you're out in the outdoors, your nose kind of runs a little bit. I think that's just the way it is. But I try to keep amped up on vitamin C by drinking orange juice. Alright, you're a good kisser, I see that. What do you think of this adventure? This is cool in here, isn't it? It could snow some more. I think we'd be safe as long as this tree doesn't collapse on us. This tree's probably, it probably would go, it's going to snap up into shape once the snow's off of it. Let's continue on our adventure. I've got you on my helmet cam. There's water already soaking up on the bottom here. So this is actually a wet area. My pants are just nylon pants. They were my first ski pants a long time ago. Not my first ski pants, but I've had these for like 20 something years or whatever. And now I have like insulated Helly Hansen. They've lasted, got 12 years or more. But these are older than that. These are from the 90s. And I just put an application of the birds. Those sound like those little black chickadees. I don't know. We'll have to see. That sounds like a robin. No, that actually sounds like a cardinal. We'll see. It's supposed to warm up today, so the snow is gonna all start. It'll fall off. We'll see what it's like a little bit later, because we will continue this adventure. So beautiful. So this is the kind of wood. This obviously is not. I don't think this is kind of like too much work to get this, because it's supporting all this stuff. It's in the middle, but I think it's got a crack in the middle of it. Yeah, see how dead that is? This is like, this might be too punky for. But you want to find dead standing like this, and then batten it up. That's how you want to make your feather sticks, because you don't want any knots in it. The first Bushcraft R&R Adventure that I gathered wood for feather sticks, I gathered the poplar and the aspen. There was too many knots in it. So even though I was able to get some feather sticks, it wasn't the classic bunch that you'd be thinking of. So, and then when I came up after that on Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 8, I grabbed some of this wood that was freshly downed aspen. You can see where the deer have been munching on it. That snow's up to my knees right there. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. So it might be because it's on top of something, but we got like between 11 and 13 inches, because I got out my measuring tape and measured it, and that's what it turned out to be. I can't go back to Bushcraft site number 1, because there's 2 giant trees there and they could fall any second. So I think that when I come back for the next nighttime adventure, it's going to be in here, in this meadow. I think it would be beautiful. The only thing is I need something to tie my my tarp to. That's got to be like tick heaven. All the deer are concentrated over there. But right now there won't be any ticks, because they're all like frozen for the most part. But next, as soon as it melts, there'll be ticks. Obviously, I had one on me over there in one of our last adventures, but. So how do you like this, guys? Beautiful, eh? I can say A. I'm not Canadian. I believe I have the right to say A, because when I was a kid growing up, and when I was like in high school, we used to watch Strange Brew. You might want to watch that, Strange Brew. It's a classic movie. It's about Canada. It's about these 2 guys that drink beer, and they... Chaco, you're pooping again? There's 2 guys that drink beer, and they put a mouse in a bottle so they can get free beer. And it's a movie. That's the premise of the movie. And then they, that's the movie. I actually haven't seen it in 20 years, but that's how I started saying A. And I actually say A. So my son says, "You can't say A, you're not Canadian." I'm like, "I've seen Strange Brew. I can say A if I want to." So one of the things you have to watch out for is, like, in the summertime, that area over there is all wet. it's all wet. It's like gathers the moisture sits on top. It's all clay. Actually, I could have the adventure up there. But, you know what? I'll have the adventure on the other side of that, over there. The next adventure. Which could be tonight, or it could be tomorrow. Yeah. But, or sometime definitely in the future. Look, this little piece of snow looks like a rabbit almost, doesn't it? Like that's the eye, that's the ears. It's a snow rabbit. It's a snow rabbit, Chaco. It's a snow rabbit. It's a snow rabbit. Geese. Relax, Chaco. They were flying south. Alright, well these two trees look pretty good for they're young and sturdy. I like young, sturdy trees. I could put the what's that? I could put the shelter up right here between these two trees. And then have a fire pit either right here or right here. I'm get a backache if I'm sitting facing uphill. Let's go over here. This is a nice little area right here. Oh, what I was gonna say before is temporary shelters might be better than a permanent shelter, because a permanent shelter, after a while, unless you bring split cordwood, you're gonna run out of dead standing wood to cut up. I think this would be perfect for feather sticks right here. Someday we'll come up here and we'll cut this down. This is dangerous though. The whole top is dead. You know what? We'll take this little one right here. We'll make feather sticks out of this. Peter likes smaller trees. Smaller trees good. But anyway, guys, we'll figure something out. I'm gonna tune out right now because, but I'll be back. This adventure may continue or it may not. So always kind of be on the watch for that, because I'm going to add videos together as I see fit. So I might say goodbye if the video keeps going. But for now, we're going to check back with you later, and see ya soon. Hey guys, I'm back. It's in the evening now, and today we had a nice Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 9, and it was a lot of fun. There was a bomb cyclone nor'easter, and we went for a little adventure to see what the woods looked like, and Chaco came along, and it was fun. So it's the evening of that night, and I just figured that, you know, we could hang out, and I'd pour myself a beer, and I'd say you should do the same. I have the ice filled, and I'm going to add my beer. that? Nice. I have to put things on coasters. Speaking of coasters, yeah, so today we had a nice adventure. We went in the woods and saw the nice snowstorm. And had fun doing it. It's getting warm in here. I still have my ski socks on. They'll keep you cozy. If you want to be cozy, get ski socks. Oh my god, what the heck? If you want to be cozy, get some ski socks. Hair in there. You get some ski socks, and they keep you nice and toasty. Nice wool ski socks. Perfect. I don't know if this is too low. I'm going to raise you guys up. I'm going to raise you up. I'm going to raise you up. That's better. I'd like to go on an adventure tomorrow. If I did, that would be Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 10. But the next one is definitely going to be number 10, because this is number 9. But I have some chores I have to do. I have some things I have to kind of like clean the garage. And, yeah. So, it's a little bit dirty. Last night, we had the power outage. That's how this video started. And I told you that the power usually goes off for like 45 minutes. It can go off for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 45 minutes. It's been off for 2 hours before, and it's been off for many hours, like 6 hours, whatever. Last night it was out for like 4 or 5 hours. So I was actually at Walmart. I don't know if I told you this. I was at Walmart and the power went out at Walmart, and it was so weird. Like the kind of like auxiliary lights come on, and then all the workers are like, "What are we supposed to do?" And then they're like, I'm just telling people to go to the front desk and cash out. So I just left, but I mean, it was weird. Just all the people, you could hear them just talking, and like, it was silent. It was like, it was weird, but it's the way it was. And then later that night, I went to a different store across the town, and the power was on there, so we got some food, and I came home and I made my famous steak. So, and my wife was like, you should film making the steak. And I forgot to do that. I didn't do that. So, yeah, I should film making the steak. There'll be more light. But I did not film making the steak. But I can tell you how I make the steak, and then you can make the steak on your own. So this is how I make the steak. You take your steak. You want to get a nice New York strip or filet mignon, but it's 2 different cuts. So this is mostly for New York strip, but it works for filet mignon too. You take your steak and you use a cast iron Lodge pan. Like I use the 10S, I don't know, it's about this big, and it's, you know, thick iron pan. And you warm that up, you put some butter in the pan, and a little bit of olive oil. Excuse me, as much as you like. The more, the merrier. The olive oil and the butter are going to mesh together and give you like a greasy deliciousness. You know, I know that if I ever went on the Food Network, they'd say, this steak is greasy. It's greasy. There's some grease on the plate. Yeah, there would be. but it adds flavor. And then what I do is I put onion salt on half of it and garlic powder on the other half, on the other side, and then pepper on the whole thing. The whole thing has pepper on both sides, and on the edge where the fat is, you put pepper all on that, and then you put a couple shakes of hot pepper flakes if you'd like also. It makes it, so those are the spices. And then put this, you have the steak or steaks in the pan, and then you turn it up on high for like a minute so it can sear the steaks on the one side, and then you turn the heat down, and then you got to keep rotating the steaks. So you can turn them on their sides at times, turn them on their sides up against the corner of the pan. When you go to do the other side, you sear that side for a minute, and then you put the steaks back. You want to keep kind of like moving the steaks around, because if you just leave the steak in the pan, then the butter kind of like goes away and it's just too dry, and then you get like a crust on your steak. So you want to keep kind of like moving your steaks to make sure there's the butter and the olive oil underneath it. And basically it's about 8 minutes to cook steaks, but I mean, there's a built-in thermometer in the steak. You can actually see the red in the steak. And when it gets down, like if your steak is that thick, when it gets down to about just the middle, just go a little bit longer so you just see a little bit of red on the outside of it. You guys know how to cook steaks. But that's how you do it. And yeah, and then afterwards, you take the steak, you put it on the plate, and then you pour the sauce over the steak. And then, very importantly, you have to let it rest for like a long time, like 3 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, it's going to be a little on the cold side, but what happens is all the juice that have you ever cut into a steak and then your plate is just water? The whole plate is full of water. It's because you cut it too soon and all the juice went out of the steak onto your plate. So the longer you let it rest, the steak, the fibers will absorb the moisture back into it. And then very importantly is to season it again, put more salt on it and more pepper, and then enjoy. That's how you make a perfect steak. So that's how I did it last night, and you guys would have enjoyed that for sure. How's your beer? Mine's very good. Again, it's the Sam Adams Rebel Rouser IPA. It's an 8.0. You can have like I have a new saying. Are you ready? This is my new saying for these heavy beers. They're heavy. They're malty, like malt, M-A-L-T, malty, and they're and that's why that makes it kind of like sweet and caramelly, but then the hops kind of like make it more like flowery. They give it aroma, a little bit of aroma that, to me, it's like a soapy aroma. I don't know if it's not like the best aroma, but anyway, it rounds out the beer, so it's not too sweet, and that's my saying. My saying is that you only need one, but you better have two. You only need one, but you better have two. That's my saying for the beer. But that's to each his own. I have good news. It seems as though the winter's going to last for another week or so. The temperature is going to stay kind of cold, whereas like 2 weeks ago, the snow was like seriously fading away, and like when you see Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 7, there was like, I don't think there was any snow. Yeah, I don't think there's any snow left. So Yeah, this snow it came back. The snow came back. So I mean, I watched the snowbank at work out of my back window, where the plow would push the snow into a snowbank, giant snowbank. It actually looked like a polar bear, because it had like dirt in it. I wanted to take a picture of it, and I should have gone out there and filmed it a little bit, because doing this bushcraft stuff and this camera thing and putting videos on YouTube, it brings out the artistic person in someone, in me, in one, they say. It brings out the artistic, and that was art, and I just let it slip away. I just let it slip away. I should have gone out there and taken some time, because it was so cool. It was like melting like crazy, and it did look like a polar bear. And then, you know, it was 60 degrees, 65 degrees. It's crazy. And now it got colder again, and you know, you got one day it was 50 degrees on like a Thursday, and then on Friday the next day there's a nor'easter cyclone bomb going off. That's literally what it was called. So, are you enjoying your beer? I am. You hear the ice clicking around? Have you ever had a beer on ice? You don't want to try it? You should try it. It can't hurt. It might taste watered down. In the summertime it's refreshing though. To put it on, to even put lager on ice, it's refreshing. And it kind of like rehydrates you a little bit. As long as you don't have an onion in your refrigerator and your ice smells like garbage or whatever, then it doesn't add any bad flavor at all. It just mellows it out. A little bit of water on it. Oh, I like it. I like it. So I have a new piece of my adventure gear, my kit, as it were, pants. A lot of my videos, I'm a fan of mountain khakis, so I actually use mountain khakis a lot, and just the twill ones, and you know, I have a lot of pairs actually, but I got these pants because I was thinking, you know, there's the Fall Raven pants with the knees that have the 1000 material on it. Well, actually, I have my sweater. I actually got a sweater that has some material on it. It's not in here. But these are the mountain khakis, and they're great. The way these pants are, they have two pockets here, and there's a second pocket on this side right here. So that's nice. And then these have these type of pockets too. These would be like cargo. You know, it's weird they fold forward like that, but whatever. I mean, so there, I've got all kinds of pockets, and these are nylon, so they should dry quickly. They were in the Mountain Khaki catalog. I actually got them on the website for almost half price, or like $55 a pair versus $78. So, and a lot of times when I buy pants, I buy 2 at a time, because if I don't like them, I'm going to return them. And if I like them, then I probably end up loving them. And if I like them and love them, then I will have wished I had more pairs of them anyway. And also, if you buy things in pairs, like 2, then if something happens to one pair, you still have the other pair. But yeah, these are going to be great because they're I actually had them on today underneath the snow pants. So, but these will dry faster. So they're kind of like like a sport material. So almost like swim trunks. How like you wear them and then next thing you know they're dry. That's what these are. So as far as bushcraft goes, I really think I'm getting good at, I think mentally, as I'm physically, and I haven't physically made good feather sticks yet, but I know now what to look for. You want to look for standing dead with no knots in it, like no places where the branches came out, and then that's how you survive in the woods when it's wet. Because all that, if you think about it, all the wood that's inside this wood is dry. So in order to get a fire going, you take your piece of wood, you split your piece of wood. If you're lucky enough to have an axe, you can chop it with an axe. If you're lucky enough to have a saw, you can hit it with a saw. If you only have a knife, chop it with the knife, you know. And then you take your knife and you use a piece of the wood and you batten it down. You know, basically you take your knife like this is the blade, and you put it over a piece of wood like that, and then you hit the edge of your knife. And you want to make sure everything's safe and secure, and watch out for dangerous things, don't hurt yourself. But yeah, you do that, and then when you get the middle of the wood, you know, after you've batoned it down and have pieces that you like and that you can work with, you know, you can get some feather sticks going. And if you can get enough, Morris Kohansky says that if you get you need 7 of those feather sticks to be able to light your fire in a wet situation. So you just keep gathering that stuff, and gathering it, and gathering it. And the thing is, if you only have one match, then just gather as much of that stuff as you can. You know, just make a pile of it this big if you had to. Don't rush into it. And then when you do have that, remember the emergency match fail, my first Bushcraft R&R Adventure? It's like that. You want that to work. You want that to work. So the ground has to be clear of snow and wetness. If you could, you'd want to take some bark off of a tree, lay it down on the ground. Even if it's damp, it's better than the wet ground. And then you can build your fire across. You know, you put your logs boom, 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 right next to each other. All the kindling that you cut from batoning the wood, and just build a structure. You know, back and forth. Go this way and this way. And make sure there's room for air. We'll do all that stuff. We'll definitely do all that stuff. But mentally, I think I've got it. So I just have to get there. But in the improving grounds, as it were. When we go to the improving grounds, we'll improve upon our skills. So it's a Saturday night, about 9 o'clock. You know, it's quiet around here. Not much is going on. So I'm here with you guys. I really enjoyed today's video. I really did. I thought it was fun to do. The snow wasn't so bad. It wasn't too hard to walk in. It was beautiful. I mean, Ansel Adams, beautiful. Picture perfect, beautiful. Definitely a winter wonderland, beautiful. It's fantastic. Well, I'm going to finish my beer, you guys. I just wanted to give you some more content, a little bit more content than 17 minutes or so from the first couple videos. 17, I think there was 17, 18, 20, maybe 20 minutes. I see there's 20 minutes here. I don't know how much card I have left, so hopefully you guys are enjoying your evening and your day, and I hope you look forward to the next adventure. The next adventure for us is going to be Bushcraft R&R Adventure number 10. Have a good evening.